If you've ever launched a website, moved to a new hosting provider, or set up your email, you've probably heard someone say, it'll take time to propagate. But what exactly is DNS? Why does it take time? And what do all those records, A, CNAME, MX, or even AAA, mean? By the end of this video, you'll have a pretty good understanding of how DNS works, why it's so critical, and how different DNS records help run your website and your email. So let's break it down one step at a time. DNS stands for Domain Name System, and it's basically the phone book of the internet. Here's why it's important. Humans use domain names, like example.com, but computers use IP addresses, which look like 172.217.19.164. Now, DNS translates these domain names into IP addresses so computers know where to connect. For example, you type example.com into your browser, DNS translates that to 172.217.19.164. Your browser connects to the server with that IP address, and then the website loads. So here's what's happening behind the scenes when you visit a website. Your browser asks a DNS resolver, where is example.com? The resolver checks its cache first. If it already knows the answer, it gives it back instantly. If not, the resolver goes on a journey. It asks the root DNS server, who handles .com domains? The root server points to the top-level domain server, which manages the .com domains, and the TLD server then points them to the authoritative DNS server for example.com. The authoritative DNS server says, here's the IP address, your browser connects to that IP, and the website loads. Which is pretty cool, right? Now, let's talk about DNS propagation and why it sometimes takes 24 to 48 hours for changes to fully update. It all comes down to something called TTL, or time to live. Here's how it works. DNS records are cached or saved temporarily on different servers around the world to speed up these lookups. The TTL value tells these servers how long to keep the cached information before checking for updates. So for example, if your TTL is set to 3600 seconds, it means servers will hold on to the old record for an hour before checking again. And when you change DNS settings, like pointing your domain to a new website, servers around the world might still show the old IP until their TTL expires. That's why updates take time to propagate from one server to the next. If you need faster changes, you can simply lower your TTL ahead of time. Now let's break down the most common DNS records and what they do. For the A record, A stands for address. This maps a domain name to an IPv4 address, like 172.217.19.164. Think of this as the street address of your website. Then there's the AAA record. This works like an A record, but for IPv6 addresses. IPv6 is the newer version of the Internet Protocol. It's 4 times larger than IPv4, hence the 4 A's in the name. So for example, example.com would now point to something that looks like 2001:0dba::1. IPv6 is longer and allows more devices to connect to the internet, and this example is a shortened version of an address. The CNAME record, or canonical name record, points one domain name to another. So for example, www.example.com could point to simply example.com, and you can use this to alias a subdomain to your main domain. The MX record, or mail exchange record, tells mail servers where to deliver email for your domain. So in this example, you could have an MX record where example.com points to smtp.google.com. There's also a priority value for those records. The TXT record is simply a text record. It's very versatile. It stores text information for your domain. And this is used for email verification like SPF and DKIM, or ownership verification for things like Google Analytics. Then there's the NS record, or name server record. We talked about the authoritative servers earlier. This specifies which DNS servers are authoritative for your domain. Then there's the service record, or SRV record. This points to specific services like VoIP or messaging applications. So why does this matter to your business? DNS is the backbone of the internet. Without it, your website won't load, your emails won't reach your inbox, and your customers won't be able to find you. So getting DNS records right ensures your website, emails, and online services are working seamlessly. All right, to recap what we covered today, DNS is the phone book of the internet and translates domains to IP addresses. TTL controls how long DNS information is cached, and that's why propagation takes time. And you now know the most important DNS records: A, AAA, CNAME, MX, TXT, NS, and SRV. If you have any questions about DNS, drop them in the comments below, because I'd love to help. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.